Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
All right.
Hello, good evening, MJ. Good morning in the Philippines. Welcome to our show today. It's Beyond Health and Wellness, empowering conversations with Dr. Rich and Nurse MJ. So we're here for episode 2. MJ, good morning to you.
Good evening, Dr. Rich. And of course, our host, Dr. Rich, and I'm Nurse MJ. Welcome to the show and welcome to our second episode. Again, you are watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, stream.lawin.live, and twitch.tv. And if you miss our live show, you can actually listen to our podcast, and it's going to be available on Apple Podcast, Amazon Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and a lot more. So to all the viewers that watched us last week, thank you all so much. We may have had some technical difficulties, but we have to keep going. We don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, we care, but of course, we have to keep doing this, right, Dr. Rich?
Correct. It doesn't bother us. There are limitations too. Unfortunately, our technology has still limitations. It's only our imagination that has no limit. So we can imagine things, and when it's brought down into technology, we can give it a slap because sometimes it's limited to connection, speed, and all of that. But we continue to bring good news. We continue to bring good topics for everyone. Especially today, we bring about this is our second episode. So the last episode we were talking about a lot of things, but most importantly, the holistic approach of people, of us, in terms of our health, our wellness, and beyond that, what encompasses all of that to get to where we are right now.
Yes. And it was so exciting because we were talking about hormones. Actually, we talked a lot about dopamine, our feel-good hormone.
Yes.
Dr. Rich, now, I've learned so much from that episode because now I know that when I feel good, my dopamine is working. And you said your dopamine can either serve you good or underserve you or not do you any good, depending on
Yeah.
how you utilize it. So,
It works
because
both
sometimes,
ways.
yes, it can work both ways, but you have the power to choose how you want your feel good hormone affect you. If you want your feel good hormone to empower you, encourage you, and inspire you more to do better in anything that you do, then you can use it to the best of your advantage, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And here's the thing. So there's quite a few hormones that we will be talking about. The first thing that we talked before was about dopamine, but there are more, right? Dopamine is like a reward hormone. You feel good because you're being rewarded or recognized, or you feel some kind of a sense of anticipation, sense of success, or moving forward. Those are all dopamines, especially for our viewers who are with us and they are looking for a job. If you are very concerned about an interview, then you go for an interview. The first thing you want to think about is how do you use your ability to induce dopamine, an increase of dopamine to your interviewers, the people who will be asking questions from you when you are in front of these people, because it's kind of a stressful environment for you. And when it's stressful, the stress hormone is present. It's excessive. It's actually an overdose of of stress hormones when you are interviewing, because it's the first time. There's anxiety. These are all hormones that are induced by your body at an excessive amount, and they are called the cortisol. They are called the adrenaline. They are all there, and you don't want more of that. You already have that because of a very anxiety producing situation. You're in an interview, so you want to produce more dopamine, which is, of course, the sense of anticipation and making them feel good, which means that when you make people feel good, you feel good yourself. It's kind of work both ways.
That's right. And I can actually relate to that because when you're being like, if people don't recognize what you do, even though of course you're not there to be recognized, that's not the most important thing, right? Because you're there to do your job no matter what the situation is. You are supposed to give your best.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
natural for people to do not feel good when they're not being recognized for what they do.
Mhm.
I think that's why a lot of corporations, they know that when they recognize people, when they reward them,
Yes. Yeah.
actually the employees or even their family members, their friends, the more that they are encouraged to do even better. So I think
Yes.
we should capitalize on that, knowing
And we're
that.
talking, well, we're talking about that. That is in both sides. If you are an interviewee, we probably have viewers that are managers, directors, vice presidents, and all of that, and they are facing people and they're wanting to hire people, and then they induce that stress on people. Instead of finding the right one, they missed it. And over the
Mhm.
course of my role, I've gotten very well about knowing the sense of that person in front of me, whether he's a good fit or not. But if he's not a good fit, it's not like you are going to dismiss it because you know it. You want to encourage that, so you induce that dopamine level in that person by saying, "Oh, you have a nice tie," or "You have this," or "I like your hair." That is inducing the dopamine. So then they feel better, and then they can talk themselves. In the interview, and you can ask questions that are engaging, and then they feel good, even if you don't choose them or select them in the hiring process. At least you made them feel good.
Yes. Wow. That's like positive reinforcement, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We should know how to use those because if we want people to actually, respect us and treat us well the same, then we should also do the same for them. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not just about
Yeah.
us. We're here to encourage each other and empower each other. So that's a good way to leverage people too, to make sure that we are recognizing whoever are those important people in our lives,
Yeah.
our families, friends, and employees. But anyway, enough about dopamine. You mentioned about cortisol and adrenaline.
Yes.
So with the stress hormones, you don't want that, right? You don't want an
No.
overload of those because
No, I mean, you don't necessarily not want it or want it, but it's present especially in work environment, in places where it's very high strung, like the hospital, for example. You work in the hospital, there's already a good amount of cortisol in the people, in every single person that's there. The stress level is high. Like, you have a patient there that's dying, or, they're sick. That's why they're in the hospital, and you are there. You are affected by that, and so that hormone is high, and it affects all other parts of our health condition of our body. It affects us. It makes us sick. So you want to be able, we're good, we're in this profession and we're aware, but it's good to make people aware that when you are in a stressful situation, you don't need more of that situation. For example, a person raising his or her voice higher than usual because he needs something, right? Can you please help me, like that? That is inducing cortisol higher, and you don't want to respond by
raising your voice too.
right, because you overdose yourself, right? You want to have the dopamine. What you need, and then the very best thing about doing this is not it's not like it's something that you have to buy. It's something that you have to practice. In this case, you want to smile, right? Because it's not a smiling environment. it is not a stimulus for you to smile, but you address it with a smile. Now they question me, how do you smile? Now it's very difficult, but there's a way. You know about this disease condition that is called Duchenne's muscular dystrophy.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
Dr. Duquesne, he named this after him. But the Duquesne smile is what you do when somebody gave you a induce a stressful hormone, stressed you, or trying to get angry with you. You smile, right? How do you smile? With a Duquesne smile. The Duquesne smile is a powerful tool not only for speakers but for everyone, especially in a very stressful environment. What it is just to open your mouth, not open, put
Your
your
lip.
mouth wide right here, like that,
Uh-huh.
because you can
Uh-huh.
smile. That's not a smile. But if you
Yeah.
smile right here and then you squint your eyes,
I
so like
yeah.
that. You don't have to say something. You try it. Every single one of us. You try it, and if there is some kind of a stressful, you just smile. No,
Yeah.
don't say anything. You don't even have to face somebody. You can just go face the wall, but smile, and then
Mhm.
it reduces the stress level. It increases the
Wow.
dopamine level.
Wow,
That's
that's
pretty
awesome.
cool.
So that's how you mitigate, right? You have to
Yeah,
mitigate that and
because it
overpower
attacks
that.
you, right?
Yes. Yes.
You
And
don't
that
have to face that person. You can turn your back and smile on the wall because it's you. It's all about you, or you want to keep yourself healthy, right? You don't want the effect of high stress level of
in
hormones,
your body.
right? Because that will make you sick. You want to battle it. You want to attack against it by inducing dopamine because it makes you feel good. It's not very difficult to smile, right? You frown
It's not.
and then
Yeah.
smile. The effect is instant. It's
Uh-huh.
instant. It's right there. You don't have to say. You don't have to. You have to respond. You have to whatever you want to do. You can do that. But you yourself do it to yourself first. You smile, right? That's the
Yeah.
first thing to say.
Yeah, and when you smile, we all know we use less muscles when we
Yes.
smile. But if we frown, we use a lot of our facial muscles. That's why there are people that it's like you can tell when they are either they frown easily or they smile easily. And when you smile, it actually brightens, not just combats or mitigates your stress hormones, but it also
Yes.
brightens your environment, the people that you're dealing with. So
Yes.
it's both therapeutic for yourself and for the people around you. That's the
Yes.
power of smile. See, I love it, Dr. Rich, because we just started with a dopamine and the stress hormones, and now we're talking about smiling and we're talking about muscles in our face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
It's very holistic.
uh-huh.
they're all there. They've been there. We just need to be aware and what to do with them so that we can benefit from them.
Yes, we have quite a bit of comments. We're just going to read them
Yes. Go ahead.
before we move on. Well, we have one who says, I don't know who these Facebook users are. I know your name, but whoever you are, thank you so much. But he
From
says,
Quezon City.
hello po, good morning, watching from Quezon City. God bless you. God bless you too. And then we have another one. Dr. Rich, you want to read this one?
Looking for someone to give me dopamine. You can find someone who can give you dopamine by giving them your dopamine first, like smiling at them. They smile back at you, then you get that dose of dopamine. Otherwise,
Yes.
you don't need somebody to do that. Do that for yourself.
That's right. And then we have good morning from Tarlac, Philippines. Wow, maraming salamat from whoever from Tarlac. And then we have another one here, Dr. Rich.
Yes po, pag nakasmile ka lagi, always good vibes darating sa buhay mo. Yes, that is true. If you keep smiling, I would say, um, there are so many good things that you project the good vibes and then you get it back. So that's what it
That's
is.
right.
Especially
That's
those viewers or friends and people who are in stressful environments like the hospital.
right. Mm-hmm. Yes, and good morning po from Pangasinan. Wow, maraming salamat. We actually have a lot of viewers from Pangasinan.
Pangasinan.
That's where the fee and the F and the fee and the F. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway,
Yeah.
from Pangasinan. You know what? Our show is unscripted. So whatever we say, it's coming from the bottom of our hearts and from the deepest of our minds and
And our viewers can actually also participate. Put it in the chat and we'll acknowledge you and we'll talk about topics or talk about your contributions there. We'll take it from there. Just say something that you feel you want to express or share.
yes, feel free. Anyway, we have to go for a short break. And
Yes,
when we
yes,
come back, it's going to be a very interesting topic. I know
yes.
you'd love this.
You love.
In a world cluttered with information, where truth is power, Law and Weekly News stands apart.
We delve deeper, uncover facts, and bring stories to light. From political showdowns and economic triumphs to the pulse of the street and the heart of the community.
We capture the moments that define us, stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
We are back. MJ, you're on mute. Unmute yourself,
Oh,
MJ.
there you go.
Yes,
I think
now
I'm unmuted.
there you
That's
are.
right.
Now I can
But
hear you.
yeah, it's so much fun, right? We're
Yes,
just
yes,
talking about hormones. So, segue to that, since we've been
yes.
talking about hormones, there are a few more hormones that you want to share, Dr. Rich. We talked about dopamine, adrenaline, and cortisol now. What's that hormone that you actually produce while exercising?
That is the serotonin hormone. Serotonin. You are when you exercise, when you move, it's a movement hormone. You feel good when you're moving. So that's
Mhm.
serotonin right there. The other one is also is called oxytocin.
Endorphin.
Endorphin
Endorphin.
is your happy hormone. And you want
Yes.
to you tell jokes, you laugh, be
Uh-huh.
happy, giggle or
Uh,
practice laughing. There is what we call in MD Anderson, we have this what we call as the laughter therapy. The
Uh-huh.
patients go in there and then they teach the patients how to laugh. And then they
Mhm.
start laughing and then they just giggling, laughing. It's therapeutic because these patients have cancer and they're going through
Yes.
medications, treatment, and all of that. And they put them in a department or a room where they start laughing. It's a therapy. So that is endorphins. You tell
Mhm.
a joke and people laugh. That is endorphins being produced there. But there are special hormones. Would you like to talk about MJ? Tell me about it.
Okay. Well, what we're gonna talk about, I don't know, to any of you who are listening, or to all of you who are listening, that was just a segue to. I think it's a very common experience for women like me. It's more. I think there is a version of men, but the women version is more talked about, and it's actually a very common problem when we go through menopause. Yeah, I mean that's oh my god, it's a dragging topic for me because I but it's very important because I went through this stage of my life myself. So let's talk about menopause. So when we talk about menopause, Dr. Rich, I know you're
Yeah.
not a woman, so you don't know the experience, right? You don't know the
Well,
symptoms
there
and
is a
all that.
version for men, and that is the andropause, which goes through the same
Mhm.
stages as well. But let's talk about women.
Okay. What do you want to know about menopause about me?
Not
I
tell me.
well,
Tell me about your experiences when you go through that process. The first thing that you notice, the symptoms or what feelings you have.
I think the most um significant thing that actually happened when I went through menopause, even peri or premenopause, was the weight gain. Unfortunately,
Okay.
about before the pandemic, I was around 147 with my weight, but then I had COVID, right? So during COVID time, I had to be quarantined, so I stayed in my bedroom for like about 3 weeks. So I was not very active at all, and my husband was feeding me like 3 times a day with snacks in between. So just with getting COVID, I gained about 18 or 17 pounds because I went up to 163. So I
Yeah.
struggled with that. So, and then after that, unfortunately, I went through perimenopause or premenopause, that I just became like, I mean, my metabolism was just very slow, that even though I was eating very healthy, because
Yeah.
I don't eat so much sweet. I love sweets, but when I say I'm not gonna eat this for a long time, I won't. And I did all kinds of things. I was doing small small portions of food every few hours, which helps with your metabolism, supposedly. I was doing intermittent fasting. I was doing all kinds of things. I was eating vegetables all the time, like salads and everything, you name it. I was doing all the right things, but for some reason I still kept uh, gaining weight. I kept gaining weight up until about a year ago. I went up to as high as 185. And oh my God, my
Wow.
son was like, he said, "Ma, what's wrong? I mean, are you okay?" But
Yeah.
then just when I was completely menopausal, so I mean, I gained almost 40 pounds in a span of 3 years. So that's the biggest struggle with weight gain when I went through menopause. Another thing is I always feel tired. Like you feel so fatigued. Like you don't have energy. I mean, I am so busy. I know I'm busy all the time. I'm doing something. I'm not the type of person who just goes to work, comes home. No, that's not me. I go. I have a lot of extra activities. Although I may seem like I have all the energy doing these things, when I come home, I mean, I'm like exhausted.
Mm.
I'm just not kidding. And then it's hard for me to go to sleep. I'm having a hard time sleeping even now.
Wow.
I
Wow.
actually feel that more now, that like at night I may be laying in bed, but sometimes I don't go to bed till about an hour or so after. I don't even think about it anymore because I'm just like, I just want to fall asleep, but I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'm
think that is very common to all women who go through that stage, because it's, I would say that it's a stage and there is no cure for that, and it doesn't need to be cured, because it's a stage that every woman will pass through. It's just during those times the symptoms are killing you and you want to have some kind of a relief on it. Um,
Mhm.
and that's why there are treatments and treatment protocols that needs to be given. But also we're talking about holistic here, so it encompasses the whole of you, because it's already that stage in life where there is a hormonal imbalance. For some reason
Yes.
our body reaches that peak, and when it reaches that peak, it's a slope going down from that time. So it's not wrong. It's not something that it's not preventable either, but it's something that you want to take care of while you're going through that.
Mhm.
Right? Does that make sense?
And yes, yes, because I mean, all your life, when you are productive as a woman, of course, you have your estrogen, your progesterone. Those
Yeah,
are giving you all the energy,
yeah,
balancing your emotions, right? And then all of a sudden, you come to this stage where everything just drastically like drop,
yes,
like almost zero, like almost nothing. So
yes.
imagine
It
that
changes
that
your mood
state.
and everything. When your mood
Yes.
is changed, everything changes. It's like a ripple down effect. So what we can do is think about things that we're still in this hormone topic, right? So we think about things that will trigger that particular condition or situation, like gaining weight. Well, why do you gain weight? Is because you're eating more than you need to, right?
Mhm.
And so what is that hormone that that makes you feel you feel good, you feel satisfied because you're eating that amount of food? What is that kind of hormone? Feel good, right? It's the dopamine. It's the negative effect of dopamine that makes you feel good when you eat more, right?
Mhm.
So you have a lot of those dopamine, an overdose amount that makes you feel good
Wanna eat.
when you eat more, right? So what you do
Yes.
is to lessen that, right? And there are so many diet this, diet that, don't eat this, don't eat that, eat this, get this tea, and all those kinds of herbal and thing, and then all of a sudden you're still not doing it. What's going on? Because unfortunately, gaining weight is not just limited to women in the menopausal stage. It is all through the spectrum of life,
Mhm.
and so when you have that, it's because you feel good. It is your, what do we call it, in the Philippines? We have a term we call comfort food, right? Because you feel
Yes.
comfortable eating it. And so you eat it, you feel so good, you eat some more, you feel so good. And then you're full because your brain was like, stop, enough, you're full. And then you stop. And then it goes down 2 hours, 3 hours, probably longest. Then you try to crave again, right? So you eat again because it feels, I feel good. It's so good. And then you eat again because the dopamine is up there. But what is the imbalance there is because when there is an overdose of those, now remember, dopamine is addictive. Okay, it
Mhm.
feels good, but it is addictive. You want the feel good. You want, if you don't feel good, you want to be looking for it. And it happens that at that time, we're talking about the diet first. At that time, it happens that what satisfies that longing is the food. Now,
Yes.
sometimes we have a note in the refrigerator, you've already eaten, and 12 midnight, don't eat ice cream, don't open this, or lock your refrigerator, and all of that. And it doesn't work because the craving is too strong, right?
Yes, and on top of that, other than of course it makes you feel good eating because it's your comfort, that's how people deal with stress sometimes
Yes.
too, is they eat, that's why they gain so much weight. But through menopause, other than you're eating more, your metabolism is slower too. So
Yes.
you're not burning the calories that you are taking in. So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
why it's so hard, it's so difficult to lose weight even more.
Let's
I
break
mean,
that down. Let's
yeah,
break that down here first. So your metabolism is slow. Obviously, at that stage, your metabolism slows down, right? Everybody's metabolism slows down. We're not
yeah,
growing older and our
yes.
metabolism goes faster. No, the older we grow, the slower the metabolism goes, right? So we've
Mhm.
reached at the stage where the metabolism is slower, but also we want to eat some more. There is a drive to eat some more, right? They're not matching. This is metabolism, this is food. It should be like that, but it can't put the metabolism higher. Well, you can do some stuff like exercise, move, all that kind of thing that stimulates it. But with that awareness that you are at the stage, you know that no matter how much you do, you can only do so much. The metabolism stays here, and then it stays a little, it goes a little bit, but it doesn't go back. It's like at one
Yes.
time, one doctor talked to me, and I was talking about a pain on my back, and he says, "How old is your car?" And I said, "What does it have to do with car?" And I said, "My car is 10 years old." And he says, "Yeah, that's right. You probably can't bring your car back to its new original when you first bought it." And I got it. So I went away. I said, "Thank you very much. I got it. You cannot bring your body back to
That's
where
right.
it used to be in the original. You will have to adapt to the new conditions that it's going through."
That's right. That's right. Oh, it's getting so interesting, but I think we have to go on a second break,
Yes.
Dr. Red.
Is
I
it
mean, it's
time?
I know,
Oh,
right?
how
We're
time
just
flies.
having fun, but we are gonna go on another break, and we will be back shortly.
All right.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories, from elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits. I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
Are you ready for engaging conversations on education, teaching strategies, trends in the classroom?
Tune in to Teacher Talk, Live 𝗙𝗏𝗂𝗏 with your hosts, Teacher Cora and Dr. Claire.
In each episode, we'll dive into meaningful discussions, share insights, and connect with fellow educators.
Don't miss out on the fun and camaraderie. Grab your coffee and join us for some lively 𝗙𝗏𝗂𝗏. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Philippines.
We're back.
All right, that is so cool. We have a comment actually from one of our viewers.
Yeah.
She says, "I cannot control my cravings. Hoo. That's the continuous weight gain or gain weight." Yes, I'm with
Ah,
you. Bro. I know it's hard. And there's a comment actually previously. I think it's nice to read this comment. It says, "Hello po." Where is it? Menopause? You look so young, MJ. He said menopause. You
you
look
did.
so young, MJ.
Um,
I actually thought you were in early 30s. Wow, thank you so much.
that's
That's
good.
really
That's
a
good.
compliment.
That's good. Yes, yes. You don't have to look old when you're going through the menopausal stage. It's a stage in life, and it's a natural transition into life. Unfortunately, we transition. We don't stay young forever. Gone with the
Right.
movie, forever young. We don't stay that way. Probably I'm
Forever
the
young. I wanna be. Now we're gonna sing. Anyway, and you know what? When you smile
didn't
a
you
lot
say
too,
I'm probably the exception?
yeah. But when you smile a lot, it makes you stay young. That's right, right,
Yes,
Dr. Rich?
it's the mind. So it's a state of mind. And
Mhm.
and and let's go back to that comment. I can't control my cravings. That's the continuous gain of weight. When you say I can't control my cravings, you empower yourself to not control it because you say I can't. That word empowers you to not control it. So our program is very much delving into empowerment, empowering people. We empower people to do their best so that they can be the best version of themselves. And one of the worst things you can do to yourself is when you say I can't, then it locks the door. Then there's
Mhm.
no way because you can't. You say can't, you will, and then it opens the door. If you're not able to now, you just keep postponing it, but you are working on it because eventually it comes, it arrives. Whatever it is that you imagine in your mind, you can touch it with your hand. So you can always keep going, but the one that will limit us, the one that prevents us from being successful in whatever it is that we want, like weight loss, is ourselves. Our limitation is ourselves because we say I can't, and then it locks it. Don't lock it. We're very good in shooting ourselves on the foot and brag about how good we are. No, you want to overcome that and say I can, I will. Well, then the
Right.
proof is I can't. Well, all those kinds of things. It doesn't matter. The proof will be there, but you keep saying that to yourself. Empower yourself. Isn't that good?
Yes, yes. When you say you can't, then your body will not do it. But if you
You're
say
locked.
you can, then
Yes.
you just have to keep doing that. You keep telling yourself, yes, I can, yes, I can. Because whatever, as Dr. Rich had said, whatever you put your mind into, that's what the body will do,
Yes.
right? So you have
You
to control
it
it.
will bring you there. It will bring you there if you keep saying that. You don't even have to believe in it. You just keep saying it. It's like a mantra, right? A parrot. Yeah, I can, I can, I can, I can, I can, I can. I have this. You know about Brian Tracy, right? You heard about him.
Mhm.
He is
He's
one
a
of my
very good motivational speaker, yes.
yeah. He is one of my personal mentors, and he was saying we are very good in shooting ourselves on the foot, and we brag about how good we are. And then he says, "You don't like yourself? Tell yourself I like myself 100 times every day, even if you don't. I just keep I like myself like parrot. I like myself 100 times. Just count. I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. I like myself every day, and then your self-esteem will improve. You become better. You
Mhm.
will become 1% better, and becoming 1% better every day is 365% better in a year. You will no
Wow.
longer recognize yourself in a year's time if you just improve yourself 1%. So, and then we say, I can't. Well, you can't. We can't do anything. We can't help you. But when you say you can, yes, you can. And well, I'm not getting there. You are getting there. You don't say, I'm not, I can't. You just keep saying, like a parrot. And then all of a sudden, you get to where you are. And then there's just one day, you realize you're no longer the same person that you were one
Wow.
year before. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
very powerful. And you mentioned about Brian Tracy. Also, I am listening to this guy. His name is Brendon Bouchard. And then if we have all those negative thoughts and feelings every day, he has a
Mhm.
release meditation. Like he spends minutes on his day. Well, he says release, release. He just releases those
Yeah.
negative thoughts and feelings. And then he gets
Yes.
refreshed and then he feels better again. So if you are experiencing those negative thoughts that you are actually like being hard on yourself and you're just not giving justice to yourself, then try to do those simple, deep breathing exercises, meditations that can
Yes. Yes.
change your mindset, because that's very important. Just like what I've shared, Dr. Rich, right? So I was so discouraged because I gained almost 80, I mean, not 80, almost 40 pounds in a span of 3 to 4 years. And being a mom of three and being a professional with, full-time job and being very active in the community and all that, I was getting very discouraged because I kept gaining weight. And when you're in this type of media also, you gotta look good, right? So people, I mean, yeah, so I'm like, what's going on with me? I don't know. So, but you know what, I kept doing it, I didn't give
Yes.
up. I Intermittent
Yes.
fasting, I did that. I was doing every 2 to 3 hours where I eat, so my metabolism gets faster too. I was helping myself. So
Hmm.
I was so
Hmm.
glad I lost about from 185, I'm back to like around 160, 161. So that's like more than 20 pounds of weight loss just there, because I did not give up. Because if you
And
give
that's
up,
because you
yeah.
you went through the opposite of what the effect of the dopamine hormone is, because it tries to compensate where the hormones that are going down, your estrogen, uh, all that's going down, and there's no way to get it back unless you go through hormonal therapy, which is now
Uh-huh.
a medical condition that you have to get treated. You don't have to go through that. And the only reason why you have that is because there's an excess of dopamine that's making it great. It's very addictive. I told you before, remember? And but you're balancing it. You try to balance it. You try to make sure that you are the one in control of that hormone that is there, because it's in our body. We can't remove it, right? You
Mhm.
siphon it from your body. You can't do that. it
Yeah.
increases and decreases. That's why we call that the homeostasis, right? The balancing of the hormones and everything, every substance that is in our body. So we're talking about diet, and you said weight gain and losing weight, and the use of this holistic approach in order to get to where we want to be. And we're also talking about as far as diet is concerned and nutrition is concerned, we talk about whole foods,
Mm-hmm.
organic foods, foods without
Mm-hmm.
added sugar, foods that have less in calories, and all of that kind of thing. And they are good. We should be able to identify those. I call that the thing I call about that is mindful eating. Be
Mm-hmm.
mindful of what you eat. And so when you're eating, let's say you have one whole fried chicken in front of you that you intend to finish in just one eating, could you finish that? Yes, you can, because you are the only one that put yourself a limit. If you don't put a limit to yourself, which is you can eat the whole thing, you can. And then if you put a limit to yourself that you only eat part of the breast of the chicken, then that's you. It's the limit you put on yourself. No matter how many fried chicken of you, if you intend to eat only part of the breast or the wing part or the leg part or whatever is it, then that's all you can eat. No matter what, it's already close because you already fulfilled, you already achieved your desired result. That's where you use that dopamine, the sense of anticipation, the sense of achievement, right? You achieved it.
Yes.
And when you achieve it, then you go in there. There's so many things. But the other part you talk about is when you say that, Brian Tracy, you release all of those that you said differently. I call it what we call the mental revision. You can revise what's
Mm-hmm.
the past. You can revise it in your mind. Remember, our mind is very, very powerful. What it is that you put in your mind, it will become physical. It will
It
come to
will
pass.
manifest. Yeah, it will
Man,
manifest.
right. So when you're manifesting so many different kinds of things that you don't like, that only shows that that's what's going on in your mind. It's not clear.
Mhm.
It's thinking about so many things, and then you have so many things in front of you that you don't want, because that's the condition of the mind. Whatever it is that we have all around us is a reflection of what the condition of our thoughts is in our mind. So you revise the day. If I sorry, I ate three chicken today. What can you eat? Three chicken. I ate three chicken today. So you're sorry, right? You're sorry. So you revise it. You ate only a piece of the breast, right? You eat only a piece of the breast. That's what you did for the day. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then you be grateful for it. You put that in your gratitude that you eat a piece. The reality was you ate three whole chicken, but when you during the day, during the day, you revise, right? You revise your mind. I ate a piece of the breast of the chicken. Now you can't eat that anymore. That three chicken pot passed, gone. The following day, you don't want to order three chicken. You order only a piece of the breast because that's what's in the mind. It's revised. It's very
Yes.
powerful.
Yes, I know, because the mind is so powerful, because the mind dictates what the body what does,
Hmm.
what the heart
Yes.
feels, what the hand does, right? It's
Yes.
all in our mind. We actually have a question, Dr. Rich.
Yes.
Um, it says here, what can you recommend for someone to do who is clinically diagnosed with major depression to increase dopamine?
Okay. So we are here now. Well, if you are already clinically diagnosed with a major depression, and you will have the what do you call that, the hospital grade dopamine that needs to be injected, right? So it's a different thing. You will have to go through that treatment protocol. If you need to increase your dopamine, we have treatments for that. But if you're looking for a recommendation, when you have a major depression, you got to go through that process. And one of the things that we tell people about going through that depression is just avoid being by yourself. Have some company. That's the first thing. And because sometimes when they go through the hospital, we don't know if they have these kinds of conditions. So one of those questions that we ask them is what? Do you have thoughts of suicide? We
Yeah.
we and sometimes they feel like you are weird for asking why are you, but we have to ask that because we want to know, is there a something that's going on that is neurologically or psychologically undetected if we don't ask those questions, because you are the only person that knows it. And then they ask that, so we say, okay, so there are no thoughts of suicide or killing themselves or killing somebody else, because that could be some kind of a sign of a neurological disorder. But for depression, it's very difficult, right? We don't know. People are smiling and then they're going through their life every day, but they're depressed. It's
Yeah.
difficult to go through that because you're the only one who can sense that. Now, the effects of that towards the people around you is the results of what you do. It affects people. And so what we recommend is you have somebody with you, and the other one is you go through the regimen of your doctor, and
Yeah, you have to seek medical treatment from a psychiatrist.
yes,
And of course, there are other ways like therapy. There's group therapy. There's all kinds of natural ways to actually deal with depression. It doesn't have to be a pill. Some people we just going through therapy and actually following programs of Tony Robbins. I know he has a program where he actually helped a lot of people without going through medical treatment or taking
yeah,
pills, that
yeah,
he helped them deal
yeah.
with their depression. But anyway, we are actually on our last
Oh, we are.
last segment, but we have to go on a short break before we wrap up and before we continue with our discussion. So see you after a short break.
All right.
Welcome to Season 2 of the Pink Table Talk by Dr. Carly D. Tune in and let's think pink on Wednesday. Come join as we are creating community through conversation. This is our voice. We're diving deep into powerful conversations that inspire, uplift, and empower. Season 2 of Pink Table Talk.
We're
with
back.
Dr. Carly D.
So, MJ,
Every
you're on
Wednesday,
mute.
7 p.m. Central Time. See you there.
Muted.
All right. Yes.
Okay, there
So
you
we're
go.
back. So we'll take a look at that. One final thing about that message that says you are clinically diagnosed with major depression, to increase your dopamine. I think she was asking, how do I increase my level of my dopamine?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah,
first one I
natural.
said smile. We have the Duquesne smile, right? The Duquesne smile is a real smile, which you practice, which is widen your mouth and squinting your eyes like that. Now you don't have to actually really smile, but go in there and practice it in front of the mirror until you feel good. That's number one. Now I tell you, 5% of people will do this because it's you're by yourself. It's not with other people. We'd like to be with other people doing the same thing and we follow them, right? Now it's you and the mirror in front of you. It's you, but it's difficult because you're depressed. You don't want to do anything else. So I challenge you to do that. And the other one is, of course, the laughter therapy. Laughter therapy is you. How do you laugh, MJ?
Oh my God. There you go.
Exactly.
You know what?
Exactly.
My daughter, she
Yes.
mocks me when I laugh because she's like she said my laugh is like funny. Oh my gosh. But it's okay. You laugh. If you laugh a lot, and when you're going through depression, either clinically or you're like maybe not clinically diagnosed, we all go through that stage. That's
Yes.
why, as
Yes.
Dr. Rich had said, whenever you go to the hospital or to the clinic, there's usually a questionnaire that they will ask. But you know what? We will actually have an episode that will probably talk about just mainly about this topic. So
Yes. We'll
whatever
talk about that.
questions that we have for now, we
We're
will
going to keep
address
them.
them.
Hmm.
Yeah, because tonight we were actually focusing more on menopause and the other hormones, like how,
Yes.
holistically, how menopause affects us physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So we're going to
Yes.
focus on that. But we have another question here. What advice would you give to women experiencing menopause who are struggling with negative emotional and behavioral changes?
Yes,
Wow.
that is a challenge. That's really great question. That is a challenge for women in menopause, experiencing going through menopausal stage, and they are struggling with their negative emotions or their behavior when there are mood changes, behavioral changes. It is important to increase your level of dopamine and use it to your best advantage. It's not your dopamine is so high, so you are going to eat a lot of food which gives you a satisfaction. We call that comfort food. You're using your dopamine in a negative way. What you want to do is use that, let's say laughter therapy, right? That's still increasing your dopamine so that you will laugh more. So it's not just even the dopamine that is increased. There's also an increase in the other hormone. They go together, which is the hormone called endorphin. So there are two hormones when you laugh. So you have to have a laughter therapy. Laugh. So your nutrition, you know that, but laughter is very difficult when you're by yourself and you're sad and you want to sleep or you want to cry. Laugh, and then just laugh a few seconds. If you want to practice laugh, say ha, and then ha ha, and then ha ha ha, and then ha ha multiple, and then you start laughing at yourself. First laugh at yourself in front of the mirror, in front of the wall, all by yourself in the woods, and then people will call you all kinds of crazy things, but it's not them, it's you. You're trying to treat yourself, right? So you do that. But remember, I told you 5% of people, that means out of 100 only 5 will do this, because it's very difficult. It's a single event situation. You have to do it yourself. No one can do that for you.
Yeah, and I would like to add, for me, how I manage those stress levels that I've had going through menopause is becoming like being in a group. You have to have, like, I have a great support with my
Yeah.
friends, with because social intelligence is very important. It's not just for people or for women going through menopause, but whatever struggles you're going through your life, if you have a strong 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 support of friends and community, I mean, you can go through anything. So for me, I have a strong support of friends. I have a family. Like, we have a big group of friends here in Canada where I can say they're my family. They're not literally blood related. We're not blood related, but we support each other. We are there for each other. If you have that kind of friendship, then you can go through anything. I mean, I feel good also serving in the community. That makes you feel good. So do things that make you happy. Do things that you live your passion. Like,
Yes.
what I love to do. So even though I went through menopause, as like I said earlier, maybe people think that they don't even think I'm going through it, right?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
out there. I am serving. I am available for my friends. So whenever I need their support, they're available for me. So it's a community. If you have that supportive, strong community involvement and strong support from family and friends, then people don't even think you're going through it, right?
Correct. So let's make that very very clear for people who are going through or experiencing these kinds of conditions while in the stage of menopause. You're struggling with negative emotions. Don't stay there. Go somewhere else, go find somebody, do things you enjoy. Sometimes the best thing for you to do is help others. You're helping yourself if you start helping others. Well, how can I help others? I'm helpless. I'm right here. And it's because you're sitting there, you're the one that needs to be helped. If you need help, help others. Okay, the way to get help is to give help. The only way, it's always going to be giving. Give help, find somebody you can enjoy what you need to enjoy, go out there, and then for all you know, that will relieve you of that depression or change of your or negative emotions or a change of behavior that you experience.
That's right. That's right. And if still you're experiencing those after doing what we've advised you to do, it's always good to seek medical advice or seek
Yes.
advice from a professional. There are professional people there that can give you and assist you if you're going through it. But first, do the things that you can do that can help you manage whatever stress you're going through. Because a lot of times when we know how to deal with those stressful situations with whatever stage in your life, that helps a lot. So you can do that by connecting with other people, connecting with your friends, with the community. And if it doesn't help, you can seek medical advice. We always encourage you to do that because we don't
Yes.
want your condition to get worse, right? That's the
No,
last
you
thing
have to
that
seek
yeah.
advice. You don't want to be alone and keep it to yourself. You want
Hmm.
to seek advice, professional advice, go see your doctor. Make sure you have a crisis plan for safety. Make sure you lock
Hmm.
everything that that needs to be locked. Um, like weapons or things like that. And the
Yes.
number hotlines you want to call. Make sure that you know those numbers, all those kinds of things. But the best part is acknowledge your feeling that you're going through that, and you're not the only person, and you're not going to be the last person to go through that, because it's a
Yes.
process that you go through.
That's right. So there are actually few. Okay, so natural remedies for menopause. I know I went through it, so I'm very willing to share my experience. But again, as I said, how I dealt with the negative effects in my body, in my emotions, in my
Yeah.
mental state, in my spiritual life, is first of all, again, even though I have struggled sleeping at night, sleep is very important. You have
Yes.
to have enough sleep because when you sleep, your energy is better, and then your hormones also will be triggered. When you have all the energy to do exercise, to be as active as possible. So sleep is very important. Your diet, try to stay a little bit more on the vegetarian diet. I believe so, because and try to get away from more processed food and sweets, because those not only affect you during menopause, but it affects you all stages of your life.
Yes, yes.
And
And
then,
we are going to talk about that in some of our sessions lengthily, because that is a very important topic we cover in this program. So that's good. Yeah.
yes, so sleep, exercise, diet, and staying connected with your friends. You make sure you have that strong support from your family, friends, community. Those are really important because whatever you're going through, your physical body will take its toll on you. And you don't want that, because when your body is at its lowest energy, everything is affected. Your emotions, your
Right.
mental state, your spiritual
Especially
health.
when you're in negative emotions, you want to let me just give this personal advice. If you experience or go through different kinds of negative emotions that is going through in yourself, go get a notebook, write 10 things that you are grateful for. Write them
Mm-hmm.
down, 10 things, and then just close it. And then the following day, write again, write another 10 things. 10 things, just 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that you are grateful for, just to
Mm-hmm.
switch your negative emotion to positive.
Yes, that's the gratitude journal. Yes. Gratitude journaling is also helpful. I've heard it a lot from the most successful life coaches or gurus in the universe.
Yes.
They practice that. And I know it's a struggle. Some people they're not good at journaling, but you can start with with few things that you're grateful for at a time, and then you just keep going and keep going until it becomes a habit. It takes, they say it takes 21 days to develop a good habit, right? It also takes 21 days to develop a bad habit. So you might as well try to develop a good habit, and one of which is journaling and having a good, positive gratitude journal. So, again, to wrap up for tonight, it's been a wonderful night, Dr. Rich. I'm glad that we were able to get through our topic, and I hope that our viewers actually have learned from us. So, what can you say for last few
Yeah.
words, Dr.
And
Rich?
I think we didn't have glitches tonight. That's a wonderful thing. We're so grateful for our viewers today for staying with us and for asking those questions. And probably in the future, we can give them some kind of a surprise gift for those people who are
Mhm.
here with us and joining and participating. You can participate with
Yeah.
something that you share with your experience, or you have questions, and we can tackle them as well. So it's been a great and wonderful episode today, Jay.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm so glad, Dr. Rich. We finally got this going. We finally got this rolling, and we're not going anywhere. We may have some challenges as we begin or if we start our show, but we promise you we're here. We're going to bring you real experiences that will help you improve your health, improve your mental state, your well-being, even your success rate in your life or in your dreams, whatever you want in life. We're here to help you live a better holistic life. That's what we're here for.
Right. Have a good day, everyone. Enjoy your weekend.
Yes, good night, everyone.
We'll see you next time. Beyond Health and Wellness with Dr. Rich and Nurse MJ.